I think we're live, but
Yeah.
the problem is, this is just chaos, absolute chaos. Oh, I can't believe it. I don't know what's happened, boys. This is just, I spent the last 45 minutes kind of doing something. Now I've just lost the buttons. This is just, yeah. Well, anyway, hey, welcome to the Circus of Safety. Wow, what a show, and it hasn't even started properly yet. All I got to say is thank God. Matthew Sagrove, how are you?
Very good, sir. Yourself?
Oh, mate, listen. I've just experienced a moment of applying resilience training. That was chaos. I've had a total meltdown here in the back end. No internet. Can't hotspot off my phone. I'm finally on an iPad, and we're hobbling this show together like a bit of sticky duct tape. But great to have you on board. And you are Des 2.0 today. Thank you for taking the time.
I'll try my best. I think poetic chaos is your constant state, isn't it, Brendan?
The fact that you put poetic in front of the word chaos amuses me, but thank you for your kind words. Mr. Andy Evans, how are you?
Very, very well, thank you. I was about to give up on resilience and just walk out the door. And just as I was about to pack up, you guys appeared on my screen. So I'm over the moon that my coffee's got to wait another 45 minutes.
Oh, fantastic. Hey, listen, apologies for my my absolute chaos, but them's are the breaks. Now the challenge we're going to have too is I'm not going to be able to share the spinning wheel of death today. So everyone's just going to have to take my word that it's going to land on what I say it's going to land on.
Lack of transparency. I'm not in favour of that.
Well, who cares? To be fair, I'm running the show, and I'm going to do what I want. Sorry, boys, I'm really struggling to compose myself here. Hey, so, Mr. Andy, how's our young apprentice?
He seems to be all right. I've been away. I'm in the Garden City all week this week, so I haven't seen him since Sunday.
Yes.
I had a quick catch up with him this morning. He's very excited because, of course, it's the school production next week, and he's part of the backstage crew. And he's been telling them what they can and can't do because of health and safety. So he's very popular, as you can imagine, with the creative types.
As are we, mate. As are we. And thank you for our avid listeners. I can't believe it's embarrassing. This whole live stream thing. You know, this is the thing. We live life on a very fine edge, right? Going live. And everybody's a bloody critic, aren't they? But Nicola, thank you. Hopefully I'm a bit louder. I've tried. I will try playing with my my mic. But I am limited with.
Is that a first? Has anyone ever accused you of being quiet previously?
No, not at all. Not at all. This show is all about the firsts, mate. It's all about the firsts. So hopefully, Nicola, thank you for the feedback. Hopefully I am louder now. And again, I don't know why it keeps coming saying LinkedIn user, but does the show ever start properly?
That's Adrian.
Adrian, listen, the question's going to be back to you. How do you define properly? How do you define properly?
Keith's nailed it. Keith has nailed it.
Brenton at his most awesome. Oh, can I even put these up? Let's go. Are they coming up? I don't even know if they're coming up. There we go. There we go. They're coming up. Okay. Thank you, Nicola. Look, I'm getting the hang of this iPad thing. Squabbling it together like a bit of sticky duct tape. Well, listen, what a week. I have done the only saving grace, boys, the only saving grace is that I was as prepared as I've ever been for a show. So like I've got my show notes, I've got the spinning wheel up. I can't display the spinning wheel, but I've got it up. Luckily, I've done all that, and I've also done my research. I've done my research into understanding what significant thing had happened in safety on this day. Again, absolutely sweet diddly nothing apart from a poetic entrance to the chaos that is the Circus of Safety. So nothing exciting popped up on the channels this day in safety. Now, listen, we don't have our in-house wannabe try-hard, almost but not quite lawyer with us today. So, I don't
really?
know.
I didn't realize. I didn't realize this. Congratulations.
Oh, is that no? I said we don't have him here. That's not Matt. Matt's
Oh,
actually...
sorry. Sorry. I thought you'd chosen a different career path.
No. Matt is the most qualified safety professional on the show as we speak. So
this is true, and that, let's be honest, that is the peak of anyone's achievement.
It's a large pool with many fish.
But
most of them are dead.
Matt, your flattery will not go unnoticed. But I know that Des, not Des. Sorry, I'm trying to read the chat, so I've got a really small screen here. I know that Matt has been beavering away in the background and is super prepared for us today. So Matt, I believe you got a disclaimer for us.
I'll have a crack since your current disclaimer Jedi is on leave and on holiday at an international conference on disclaiming. So I can only say it'll be the best go an apprentice can give. So I'll have a crack, and I've done it in the theme of.
Whoa! He's just said more. He's used Des's word count already.
Sorry, you're done, mate. You're done. It's all over. Oh, here we go. Maria's telling Des. Well, listen, Maria, if Des was that serious about the show, he would have dialed in from wherever the hell he is, but he clearly hasn't. So, yeah, anyway. Anyway, now, I'm just going to ask a question before you launch into this, Matt. The fact that, no, you are actually the most qualified person on the show. So I think you're the most appropriate person to give this disclaimer. And I think this disclaimer will hold as much credibility as every other one that we have. So when you're ready, mate, take it away.
That's probably the best intro I've ever had, Bryn. Well done. Hey, I'm going to do the disclaimer in the theme of Dr. Zeus, and we'll just give it a crack.
Nice. Go, Matt.
Come gather round and lend an ear. The safety tales are starting here. They rhyme, they laugh, they twist, they play, but don't take risks in what they say. Brenton talks and talks some more about BMXs and safety floors. The size precise with law in hand, but quiet like the desert sand. And Andy, oh, he loves to tease with definitions and high decrees. They speak of helmets, gloves and boots, of hazards sprouting safety chutes, of risks and danger, guides and acts, but this is fun, not legal fact. So listen, chuckle, snort and grin, but get professional advice, not their safety spin. For serious rules and workplace news, see experts first. Don't trust their views.
Oh my God!
Honestly, I think Maria's got some bad news to tell Des.
He's been replaced.
He has.
Listen, Matt, I thought
welcome aboard, Matt.
I thought you did a brilliant job replacing Andy, but I think you just outshone yourself replacing Des. Hey, listen, the next effort is to replace me, and let's be fair, based on my efforts this morning, that would not be very hard. And
it's really going to test me being an impact player off the bench, then, isn't it? He's trying to replace you, jeepers.
Well, apparently, you're not going to have the same problem I've got this morning. With your hair. So apparently Keith wanted to know if I combed my hair this morning. And Keith, no, I am giving my hair a break from the tonnage of product that I normally put into it every day. But thank you for noticing. It is appreciated. Can we just call the show over now?
Yeah, it's been great, guys. Well done.
I just want it to be done. Okay, boys, are we ready to trust me with the spinning wheel of death here?
Absolutely, 100%.
Why not?
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, here we go. This is going to be fun. Listen, by the way, topics left. That takes us to 1 week short of our final show for the year. So we better get a wiggle on. There's not a lot left on the wheel, but here we go. You can't hear it spinning either, which is a little bit embarrassing.
And we meant to hum a tune.
Spin it again.
Oh, I just want to go home. I just want to go home. Okay. Wow. So this is going to be an interesting one, and I'm quite excited, to be fair, because I'm hoping, based on your current word count, Matt, you're going to carry the show. The topic that it landed on today, boys, is safety in New Zealand what it is? Wow.
Ooh, good one.
Is safety in... Andy, I think this might be one. I think this was when you were having a bit of a bout of depression, to be fair. And you kind of just went, you know what? You're like, I'm done. I'm over with this thing. And I think I talked you off a ledge around giving up the game, right? To giving up selling snake oil and going into a real job. Here we go. Oh,
he's such a knob, isn't he?
And that's the most words he's said all year. But Andy, your initial thoughts. I'm pretty confident this was you. You placed this on the board. Is safety in New Zealand what it is? What are your initial thoughts that have just popped up on in your head?
I think it is, and I had this conversation earlier the week with somebody else as well. I think in New Zealand, New Zealand's quite an amazing country in that when the whole country puts its mind to something, it tends to achieve quite well and quite positive outcomes. It sort of fights above its weight, I guess, in many metrics. But in safety, it seems not to. And I wonder if that is because it doesn't really want to.
Wow. Matt, what are your thoughts on what Andy profoundly made the statement about?
Well, trying to portray Dez's character, I'm just going to have to go,
Thanks, Des.
It's a very cryptic crossword type of title, isn't it? Is safety in New Zealand what it is?
Yeah. I mean, what are your thoughts, Matt? I mean, like, listen, just be you, mate. Don't try to channel anybody else. You've already done a great job doing that. I mean, is safety in New Zealand what it is? Are we ever going to get those numbers down?
It's an interesting question. I can't see why not. Some people would say that the size of the industry isn't big enough to give it a real big push. Look, if you look at other countries like our next door neighbor, Australia, mining in Australia is massive, absolutely massive, and they've got all the resources they need to do all the right stuff. And would you say that the operations in this country are as big or as well funded in relation to their expected output of safety? I think you might be a little bit hard pressed, and we're quite a long, thin country stretched out across quite a large geographical area. So predominantly we have a majority single business owners, sole traders. I think we've got over the figures are 800,000 businesses that are sole traders or individual operators. Hard for you to get an investment across groups when we're so separated, I suppose.
Yeah, no, good call, Matt. And I think you've touched on an important thing. I guess, when I first saw the topic come up, is safety in New Zealand what it is? I guess I went straight to the numbers, right? I went straight to the, we constantly compare ourselves with our colleagues across the ditch in Australia. What do we say? That you're twice as likely to die at work in New Zealand, 4 times as likely to die at work compared to our colleagues over in the UK. Touched on a very, very important. Put back around to Andy, but do you think, when we're talking about is safety in New Zealand what it is, should we be focused on the numbers, or should we just be focused on, as you've said, are we not putting enough effort into the geographical makeup of our country, the way we run our businesses, the way our economy drives it? Have we been looking at this all the wrong way? Maybe focusing on the numbers, not actually on how we are. That's for you, Matt.
How are you going to define success, though, Andy? So, what's our definition today?
Oh, yeah. Well, I like where you're going here, Matt. I like this. I'm feeling more comfortable here than I normally do.
This wasn't a safe space.
I think it's interesting that the direction you went, Matt, is perfectly legitimate, and I don't disagree with anything that you said about the nature of the businesses in the country. I just think that that's part of it. I think there's a far more fundamental issue here, which is we tend to compare. We're not comparing necessarily like with like by just looking at the numbers. So I chose to live in New Zealand because I love many things, many aspects of it. And some of those aspects, I think, are linked to the safety performance or the lack of safety performance of the country. So the amount of freedom that you've got to do what you want in New Zealand is truly staggering compared to other countries I've lived in the world. Now, is there a link between the amount of freedom that you get as an individual in this country and the safety performance of the country? And I think in New Zealand, people fight very fiercely for their freedoms and their ability to effectively do dumb stuff. And I think imposing draconian rules like they have in other countries on New Zealanders does not go down well. And I think as a nation, they've almost accepted the 60 deaths a year as a society for the freedoms that you've got. It's like cost-benefit analysis. And that's what sort of one of the conclusions I've come to, is that you can't have safety. There's always a trade-off, right? And I think the trade-off is in actually the approach, the Kiwi lifestyle.
Was that the trade-off, or is there the efficiency thoroughness trade-off from Holnagel?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, there's all sorts of different trade-offs going on there, but I definitely think there's something. I think the safety performance of the country, you need to look at, is the safety performance a reflection of the country, rather than look at safety in isolation, which is what we often do. So you compare safety in New Zealand to safety in Australia, but you're not really taking, you've been very selective in the data that you're comparing it to. You could do it with, for example, GST or VAT or whatever. You could say the rate of VAT in a different country is way less than it is here. And you say that's terrible. But actually, their income tax rate is way higher, which complements it. When we talk about safety, I think we often don't take into account all of the other issues that sit around in that comparison. And it becomes an unfair comparison.
So, and that's what Matt was, that's what I was trying to say when Matt jumped in. The fact that, we are spread from, a long to the bottom, not very wide, spread out. Geographically, we've got challenges. The way we've allowed those freedoms to occur has created a small business country. And that's not a problem, right? I mean, are we saying that's a problem? No, we're not saying that's a problem. But is that what we're saying? Is are we? Well, that's what I'm saying. Are we spending too much time focusing on our numbers and comparing ourselves to others who are incredibly different? Potentially don't have the same geographical issues as we do. I mean, I know Australia, for example, is very large, very spread out. But then, like you said, their hubs are considerably larger, right? So, is what it is, how we operate, and we haven't actually factored it in, or are we saying that maybe people are accepting of the number of fatalities? I guess that's the interesting conversation, right? And then that goes back to if we accepting it, that it is what it is, will we ever get it down?
I think there might be a little bit of tall poppy in this as well. We're very quick to second guess ourselves in front of others as a nation, and we're very quick to put ourselves down. And there are actually quite a few champions in this country that do safety extremely well, and harsh and troublesome and risk-soaked environments. And how are we measuring that? So if we look at the state of Victoria moving away from TRIFR and LTIFR, that makes sense to me, because what's it really telling you? It's asking you to make rules up for the 2% of time you make mistakes and paint that across 98% of what you do. That doesn't make any sense. So, I mean, I can only speak about what we're doing at Delta. A few years ago, we spun that on its head, and we figured out how many jobs were complete without damage to plant or harm to people as a percentage, and we tagged those tailgates to supervisors and managers. And the supervisors and managers that got the best percentage of work complete without those two metrics, harm or damage, obviously had some good habits. You have to put a layer of complexity across there on what the work actually is and what risks you face. So you would say that for us, it's suspended loads, heights, atmospheres, plant energy, electricity, and driving, and we work on talking about how work is shaped. But through tagging those supervisors in that percentage, we figure out who's got the best traits in terms of what we might call safety or how we choose to define it, and we repeat those skills through the business. And when we're playing with energy that will change or take your life every single day, and we've got people completing work at 99.6% safe. So how's everyone else measuring it? Because that to me seems pretty safe. One event, of course, will blacken your record, but how are we measuring this?
Yeah, well, some fascinating conversation there, flipping it on its head. And I guess that comes back to this whole thing. Is safety in New Zealand what it is? And therefore, have we been doing it wrong the entire time? Are we trying to emulate and copy too many other organizations, people, countries, to try and make a round peg fit in a square hole, right? Keith touched on it quite nicely. We'll just jump over to Keith for a minute. We're a 2-bit little country at the bottom of the world, underpopulated, under-resourced, very clever, but not very smart. That's one way to describe me, I guess. Thanks, Keith. On fire today. And again, I guess it's that understanding. I mean, you've touched on it there very, very nicely. Is it what it is because we've been doing it the wrong way, Matt? Have we been looking at it the wrong way? Desi Link can't help himself, and I don't know if this whole comment's going to come up. But the Woodhouse report of 1967, which recommended us from ACC, one of the 5 principles, community responsibility. Injuries are inevitably byproducts of modern society. The community as a whole benefits from risky activities such as, and I can't see the rest without getting rid of it, such as industry. Don't know what that makes sense. Therefore, the community should be the cost of injuries, not individuals. Should bear the cost of injuries, not individuals. So I guess what that's saying is that back in 1967, when I believe it was Michael Woodhouse wrote the report into ACC, they're saying then that it's it's not beneficial, but they're saying there that it is the byproduct, right? Injuries are the byproduct.
Well, isn't that interesting?
Your thoughts?
That's really interesting because we're the only country in the world with an ACC-like system, really. I think, or one of very few. And I think that might be underplayed sometimes because just Des, bless him, contributing to the other side of the world. Is there not a fundamental conflict between what's being said there and our safety legislation? Like they're saying you've got to do risky stuff because it's good for the society. And then we've got another piece of legislation that says you've got to eliminate risks to health and safety.
Yeah, interesting. It becomes an entire kettle of fish. So, which becomes interesting, right? So, how many reviews since 1967? Matt, being the most qualified professional on the show, might know this.
Absolutely. No, I think he's done his thesis in this. I'm expecting a long, detailed spiel here.
How many times has the core legislation around health and safety in New Zealand been reviewed since 1967 versus how many times has the ACC legislation been reviewed to see whether we still accept those guiding, get rid of ACC? That's definitely not what I'm saying. But what I'm asking is how many times have we reviewed the ACC legislation in correlation with the Health and Safety at Work Act or the health and safety legislation of the country? Matt, any ideas?
Nope.
You can make it up on the show, mate. You wrote the disclaimer. You can just say whatever you want.
I think if ChatGTP was to be personified as a person, it would not look like me. So I cannot give you the answers on that quite complex question.
Well, I would hazard a guess that the number of times the health and safety legislation in New Zealand, as a generic thing, has been reviewed versus the ACC legislation to the same extent is probably not. I would imagine the health and safety legislation has been reviewed. Well, it hasn't been reviewed that many times. It's probably been under the microscope far more than the ACC legislation. I'd have a guess. I'd love to know if somebody would disagree with me on that. Feel free to insult me on the chat. Jump in and barrage me with the correct responses as Matt jumps onto ChatGPT to check. But I can see you, mate. Like, just because I'm on an iPad doesn't mean I can't actually see what's going on. But maybe is that what it is? Is that why safety in New Zealand is what it is? Because we've got conflicting principles, conflicting guiding principles. We've got this ACC thing that effectively encourages us to be unsafe to some extent. Andy, your thoughts on what we've just discovered?
Yeah, the ACC thing is interesting. A client of mine at the moment is going through an ACC audit to get some money back, to get a discount apparently.
That's a fair way to describe it.
And they're quite and they're quite motivated to get through this audit. Now, there's a whole different debate about audits and safety performance, but they're quite motivated to do it to save themselves, I don't know, say $100,000, $150,000 a year. If we got rid of ACC, so if it all went wrong, instead of paying $1 million a year, instead of paying $1 million a year as sort of an insurance thing, there was potential for them to get sued for $50 million. I would almost guarantee that they would be more focused. I think that the fear of being sued for breach of duty of care does motivate people to do things better. And that's what you've got in Australia and in the UK. There's potentially much bigger motivators not doing it.
But aren't we going to end up in the same problem where we're trying to take another country's approach and slapstick it over Aotearoa? Is that just going to create as many different problems?
I don't know. It's a shame we haven't got Des with us, because he knows about this stuff, and Matt just knows about electricity.
I mean, he seems to know everything.
So,
I mean, he's clearly Googling because he's not actually contributing to the show, not like he ever does. But Des says the ACC legislation has apparently been reviewed 9 times since 1974. Des, I wanted to know that compared to how many times the health and safety legislation has been reviewed. So if you could do some research and come back to me, please. But back to my point. Candy, we go grab I guess the stick, okay, around managing health and safety. We remove ACC, we allow people to be sued. I'm going to say that that's not going to fix the problem either, because what's going to happen is, as Matt pointed out, we're a country of Matt, and I'm not good with numbers, mate. I've already forgotten the numbers you sprouted out earlier about percentages of small businesses. 800,000, right? They don't have money, right? So you go and sue them for $50 million. They're just going to declare bankruptcy and move on, right? Like, so it's not actually going to fix the problem, is it?
I don't know.
Just changing the way we manage things.
I think it's a very good conversation to have, though, and to think about it.
But I think you're wrong. I just want to say, I just think you're wrong. I think we're not thinking hard enough about the way we are as a country and the way we operate, and we need to think how we approach it potentially, copying other people.
That's what I was suggesting. Is I didn't say we have to do it. I just said that it's the sort of thing that we should put into the mix.
Do I need to go back and check the recording? I'm sure you said we should copy C and we should do all this sort of stuff. Is that not what you said?
It may well have been. My memory's not what it used to be.
I mean, okay, let's just. I'm not going to apologise to Andy, but let's just say I misheard Andy. Let's just say I suggested consider it. I mean, what are your thoughts if we say get rid of ACC and threaten small businesses with the fear of prosecution, court, jail time, and all those other beautiful things? Do you think that'll make a difference?
My initial thought is I actually quite like the system of ACC, but my concern would be if we were to take some other country's approach and start fining people out of existence, then that would be a fast track to large businesses or overseas entities taking over. And would they care more about us or less?
Beautifully said. Yeah, so Andy, you're wrong. And
again, no. I'm not wrong. All this always happens. This always happens. I'm not wrong at all.
there's a common denominator here, Matt. Have you seen it?
What, that it's not a safe space for Andy?
Thank you, Matt. Thank you.
Oh, Link is busy on the old chat GPT this morning, that's for sure. Apparently, so therefore I'm wrong. Apparently, ACC legislation has been reviewed more times than the health and safety at work act. Well, clearly they're not paying them properly, possibly. So carry on, Andy, as you were.
Oh, okay. What you've both just said is sort of reinforced that in New Zealand it is what it is. So I've suggested an alternative approach, and you two have jumped on the bandwagon and said, no, we can't change it. We've got to keep it the same. So you two are actually part of the bloody problem. You two are the root cause.
You didn't say you said we need to copy somebody else. I'm saying we need to think longer and harder about the way we approach it, because I don't think copying and applying a model of prosecution isn't specifically going to change anything.
I would disagree in that I disagree. We already have that legal system. Our legal system is based.
I mean, no one gets prosecuted in New Zealand anymore, mate. No one does. They don't get prosecuted.
But the legal system is fundamentally the same in the sort of Commonwealth countries, right? Which is the ones that we tend to compare ourselves with. The big difference is that in New Zealand, we've got this ACC, which has got a bar, which effectively disables a whole heap of legislation that we previously had. So you cannot, the whole duty of care thing has been undermined. So effectively, you've taken a fundamental legal implement out of the legal system that seems to work reasonably well in other countries. So I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but I'm just saying we really need to understand that there's possibly some sort of conflict here that's never really been understood to any significant degree.
Okay, so you actually agree with Matt and I by saying we need to think differently as opposed to just copying.
You could put it that way. I'd say that I would actually say that you and Matt actually agree with me, but hey, it doesn't really matter. I'm not that pedantic.
You finally agree with us. Well done, Matt. You just won your first argument on the Circus of Safety.
And didn't have to say a thing. Yeah.
You are representing Link incredibly well. Thank you, sir. I love the way I do love the way you characterize. You know, like when you've come in and you've stepped in for Andy, you've really taken on that persona. You've come in for Des. You've taken on that persona. It's amazing.
I can't wait to see him replace you. That would be one of the highlights of my life.
That would be method acting. I'm pretty sure I said we weren't defining it probably the right way, and we said we needed to flip how we define safety and taking a leaf out of your book without sort of trying to smack people around with larger numbers, because you can't say they haven't been hit with some large numbers already, especially given Keith's point that 97% of New Zealand businesses employ 19 people or less. So some of those fines are life-changing for the existence of that business. What is a bigger number of a fine going to do? And firstly, how are you defining safety? Is it in the level and the vastness of the fines? Because if that's how you're defining it, then what you're saying makes sense. But if you're defining it some other way, then it doesn't make sense.
So Andy, how are you defining it? Because Link actually agrees.
I guess that goes back to that whole idea that we tend to focus, like I'm not blaming anybody, but in your introduction, Brenton, you went straight to the number of fatalities, workplace fatalities.
Mm.
And maybe, as Matt indicated, that's not necessarily a particularly accurate indicator of safety performance. And there's lots of philosophies and reasons for that. But that seems to be the default that we go for. Now, why is that? Is that because it's just an easy metric and people can sort of understand it? Or is there something more sinister behind it? If we started to look at other metrics, would New Zealand's performance actually compare more favourably to Australia and the UK? But then that goes against trying to get more funding or make safety a more higher profile. I'll just put my tinfoil hat on now.
And listen, I think it's an interesting conversation, and I don't think anyone. The interesting part about it for me, though, is would anybody ever stand up and go, you know what, it is what it is. We're doing the best we can, and leave it at that, right? But we're a country of innovators. We and you know, we're constantly striving to improve, and so I guess that's why we keep fighting the fight to do it. But and again, I think it comes back to I'd hate to say this, but Matt is right. I think it really comes back to how we define safety in New Zealand. I mean, I just wish somebody earlier in the show had gone back to the basics of let's define something. Let's actually call it what it is. It took Matthew Sagrove to come up with such a novel concept. Matt, that's why we love having you on the show. It's brilliant. But in terms of it, I guess it'd be interesting to get the conversation started on the chat maybe a bit more, and we can continue this afterwards because we are running out of time on today's World of Chaos. But I guess as we wrap up the topic, I mean, Matthew Sagrove, your final thoughts on, is safety in New Zealand just what it is?
No, I think there are people fighting in the trenches to make it better every day, and I think we need to acknowledge those people and champion them.
Fantastic. Great. Very philosophical. Thank you. And we will happily champion them on this show. Andy Evans, your thoughts. Is safety in New Zealand actually just what it is?
I think my approach over the years has become to it's safety performance in New Zealand is a reflection of the culture of New Zealand. And therefore, what you get is a reflection of that culture. We sort of apply that in organisations when we look at root cause analysis and that sort of thing. It's the culture of the place that creates the precursors for the accident. If we apply that to a countrywide setting, she'll be right attitude, the freedom that we've got, the ease of which is to set up a business, you know, all of that is positive, I think. But the trade-off for that is that actually people do start businesses without any understanding of what safety is, any understanding of their legal obligations. But to make it harder to set up a business would, I think, be potentially negative for New Zealand's economy. So it's that balancing act that's difficult. But I think safety in New Zealand is what it is because it's a reflection of the culture of New Zealand. And if we want to change safety, we've got to change the culture. Now, you'd apply that to an organisation. Why not apply it to a nation?
Good call. Probably the best thing you've said all show. I'm going to say safety in New Zealand is what it is, but I think we've been looking at it wrong. So I'm going to put the challenge out there, and I think that kind of brings together everything everyone's said on the show. So safety in New Zealand is what it is, but I think we've been looking at it wrong. But there we go. So that's a wrap.
That was a very profound comment. What did that conclusion actually say? You didn't actually say anything.
I think I'm dying. Mate. I'm very philosophical at this point in time in my life, and maybe there's a white light at the end for me. I don't know. But well, I just got to apologise to anybody that's tuned in, and the other person I'd like to apologise is our latest follower to the show. Now, we don't do this for the follows. We clearly do this I actually don't know why we do this anymore. But we do this to engage in conversation. We do this to spark interest. We do this to get people thinking about what we do, not just turning up and doing what we do. But we do have a number of you that follow us, and thanks to all of those of you joining in the chat. And let's keep the chat going. Is safety in New Zealand what it is? Thank you, Desai, for recognising my creativity in this entire process. I would like to welcome to the whānau. I've known this individual for a long time, Laura Charlton, the Principal Occupational Hygienist at Dowdle and Associates. Laura, you and I will be having a chat about why it's taken you so long to like and follow the Circus of Safety on LinkedIn, but thank you for joining us anyway. An occupational hygienist. I know they've got nationwide coverage based out of Auckland. Laura Charlton, Hazan's registered, and been in the occupational hygiene game for a little while. I've worked with Laura for a long time. So welcome to the party, Laura.
2199. 2199 followers.
Who'd have thought?
After this show, it's going to plummet, isn't it? Oh, damn it.
Maybe you need the best Sagrove back as a guest.
No, listen, to be fair, our favourite Sagrove.
I think
you're
my favourite Sagrove, Matt.
Yeah, but I'm not the smartest one.
Oh, is that what she tells you? Is that what she tells you?
No.
That you are the smartest Sagrove on this show. That is one thing I can guarantee you. One
There
thing
you
I
go.
can definitely guarantee you.
Small pond, big fish.
Hey, Matt, listen again. Thanks heaps for diving in, mate. What do you got over the next couple of weeks? You got much on?
Yeah, we've just come out of our work-wise. We've just come out of our audit, New Zealand audit, and we had Telak doing our integrated management system stuff. So it's a bit of a relaxed, send most of my team on holiday type week.
Nice.
Out of work, we're building a house, so just going to go and check that out and the progress over the weekend, and just go hunting and muck around with my son. So sort of quiet, family-orientated stuff.
Nice, and no doubt, great to see you sporting the Circus of Safety merch there. And if you too want to look like Matthew Sagrove, feel free to jump on over to our website, which I think is still operational. I mean, I don't know, after today's effort, maybe the whole bloody website's crashed as well.
Not a healthy sales pitch, Brendan.
What is sales looking like, Andy? I mean, it's going to go over the moon now that everyone sees Matt wearing it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Des.
So it's not happening. Yeah. Andy, next couple of weeks, mate. What's up? Oh, hopefully you come back from Christchurch. What else is on the cards for the next couple of weeks?
Oh, so a couple of new interesting projects starting. Working with the university at the moment, which is cool.
Nice.
Yeah, just nice consulting work. Some exciting announcements, hopefully, in the next few weeks. About some new
announcements.
New products that are being launched.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so exciting
times. Sounds exciting. Well, boys, International Matter Mystery, I seem to be finding myself back over in Melbourne next week. So, yep, quite excited. Back over there, spending some time with the team, doing some site visits to see what they do over there. Helping facilitate our Are You OK Day, which is next Thursday. So I'll be facilitating some live streaming coming out of our Melbourne head office, which is quite cool. And then spending some time with some family, which is going to be quite exciting. But yeah, busy couple of weeks on the cards here for me. Clearly, to go sort out my internet service provider. So listen to a recommendation. I clearly need another internet service provider. And potentially a better Wi-Fi network kind of thing set up here. So any advice, guidance, or support would be
sponsorship opportunity.
Well, no, I just want people to give me stuff. I'm not going to. I mean, I'll thank them.
That's what I mean. They could give us free internet, and we could mention them on the show.
Possibly. I don't know if it's the internet or whether it's the system that I'm using to send the internet around the house. But nonetheless,
one thing that we can all agree on, I'm sure, is that it's definitely not operator error, because it's not about blaming the person.
No, there was one point where I hit reset button on something, and I think that totally screwed the pooch, to be fair. I think I was kind of almost there, and then I hit reset, and then I ran out of time to actually reconnect everything back up. And anyway, nonetheless, again, Mr. Sagrove, thank you so much for joining us on today's World of
Pleasure,
Chaos.
thanks.
It has been a great time. Andy, catch you next time, and look forward to hearing how Des's retreat went. In fact, I think there might even be a sneak peek we might even be able to release, later on in the day to make up for this schmozzle of a show. So, listen, until then, take care and catch you next time.
Thanks, guys.